This week, the biggest news in the UN is that Palestine has officially asked the UN to resume a process to admit Palestine as official member state of the UN since 2011, and the Security Council has approved this process on Monday unanimously.
In a letter dated 2nd April 2024, addressed to the Secretary General, the permanent observer of the Observer State of Palestine referred to the application of the State of Palestine for membership in the United Nations contained in document S/2011/592, dated 23rd September 2011, and requested that renewed consideration be given to that application by the Security Council during the month of April 2024. That letter has been circulated in document S/2024/286. Under the provisions of Rule 59 of the Provisional Rules of Procedure of the Security Council, unless the Council decides otherwise, an application for membership shall be referred by the President of the Council to the Committee on the Admissions of New Members. Accordingly, unless I hear a proposal to the contrary, I shall refer to the Committee of Admissions of New Members the request that renewed consideration be given to the application of the Observer State of Palestine during the month of April 2024. As I hear no objection, it is so decided.
Well, to put it simple, admission of new member states to the UN requires approval from both Security Council and General Assembly of this body. In Security Council, there is a committee on admission of new member. The committee is composed of 15 Security Council members. They will first have discussions and then try to reach consensus on this matter. And then they will file a report to Security Council, which is also composed of the same 15 member states. The Council then will cast a vote just like a resolution. If the resolution is adopted, the decision will be forwarded to General Assembly for a vote. Once the majority 2/3 member states agree, the new member will be officially admitted. And now the problem is, US 13 years ago argued that Palestine has to first settle this issue with Israel. And now US said that its position has not been changed. Will we see a veto in Security Council? We don't know yet, but here is my conversation with Palestinian Ambassador Mansour and President of Security Council, Ambassador Vanessa Fraser of Malta. First, do you feel optimistic on the admission of the membership? And second, how much time will it take?
He'll answer the first part, and I'll answer the second part.
Well, you start with the second part.
The second part, the Council has decided that this deliberation has to take place during the month of April. So that is the timeline. So April 2024. That is the decision that was taken by the Council as just gathered in the Council.
I am honored to be standing next to my good friend, the Ambassador of Malta, who is now, this month, is the President of the Security Council. We just finished a meeting, open meeting of the Security Council, in which the Council unanimously deferred the discussion on the application of the State of Palestine for admission to the Standing Committee, the Committee on Admission. This is a historic moment again. When our President Abbas in the year 2011, did submit our application for admission, and it was sent to the Security Council through the Secretary General of the UN. It was a historic moment then, and now that historic moment has been revived again, and we sincerely hope, after 12 years since we changed our status to an observer state, that the Security Council will elevate itself to implementing the global consensus on the two-state solution by admitting the State of Palestine for full membership.
And of course, Israel strongly rejected this process. Israeli Ambassador Gilad Erdan said that Palestine is not a peace-loving country, does not meet the requirement of the charter. He also accused the UN now
a moment of shame, disgrace, and complete moral bankruptcy.
And then I asked Ambassador Erdan this.
Just now in the GA hall, you said now UN is a disgrace, a shame, a moral bankruptcy. Has you considered to leave UN or have some more actions on this?
No, we're not considering to leave the UN because then the situation will be worse because all the lies that are being spread here against Israel, the anti-Israel majority, as we all know, there's a group of almost 1/3 of UN member states who are Muslim countries that stands always in solidarity with the Palestinians, and it doesn't matter what are the circumstances. We know that vast majority of member states are non-democratic, so we have different values, and when our values are being questioned, and when so many lies are being spread against us, and we are being held to different standards that any other country here, and I don't want to elaborate on these standards. It's easier to do it when you represent a tiny country like Israel. So I will be here in order to shatter the lies and the double standards and expose the truth. That's why it's important for us to stay here.
It will be a long April to see how this admission process unfolds. But one thing is clear, it won't be easy. And also another buzz of this week is Eclipse. People are so excited to see that you found almost everyone was watching. Fun fact, a source told me that because of the watching of Eclipse, Security Council even postponed its submission of Palestine consultation 30 minutes. And I just did this.
For those of you who can't see, Dezhi is wearing his lunar eclipse glasses.
Hi, Steph. Sorry.
You kind of look like an extra from Star Wars.
I cannot see a thing here.
Yeah.
There's an eclipse today, obviously. Is the Secretary General going to see it? And what does the astrologer told him this? What it means?
I'm not aware that Antonio Guterres regularly sees or has ever seen an astrologer. Okay? I don't think it's in his personality. He's an engineer. He is a fact-based person. With all due respect to astrology, it's not his thing. I don't know if he'll be watching it. I don't think this building is best placed unless we moved it to the Hudson.
Well, what I can tell you is that both Secretary General and the President of General Assembly joined the watching party. Now, coming up next week is the Sustainability Week here in the UN. I shared my frustration with President of the General Assembly, Dennis Francis, on how to raise awareness of this very important issue.
I actually asked for advice. I think it's human nature to pay more attention to what's happening or the more apparent things, for example, Gaza, for example, Ukraine. But in this context, we know that there are numerous weeks, Sustainable Week, SDG Week, Sustainable Awareness Week every single year. Everybody's trying to promote the SDG or sustainability. That's very important. But how can we make those things for people to see it as important as those things that we see on news like Gaza? Because we know it's about our future, but it's not about our near future. That's something people cannot see. Thank you.
But there's a sense in which it is about our near future. Because the actions you take today will create impacts down the road. So it makes sense for you to take those actions, to initiate taking those actions now. They are relevant for action now to address an issue that over time only compounds itself. You know, climate change is not a new discussion. It's been going on for maybe 35 years. This is a fact. When it was not popular, it wasn't sexy. And when there was a lot of denial about it, you know, political denial about it from many large, industrialized, successful countries. But then the evidence showed up. What Vice President Al Gore refers to as inconvenient truths, they showed up. The flooding, the annual fires in places where that never happened before, the drought, the crop failures, they showed up. And so the scientists had the evidence. So we've actually lost at least 35 or 40 years, maybe more. And now we need to take action. And now is the time to take the action.
Well, that is a lot. And that's all from me.